Okay, so just to finish, what one thing or a couple of things would you recommend to other marketers to help them navigate the marketing minefield?
Marketing
So it
mind.
could be a tool, could be a platform, could be a course, could be like a TED talk, anything that you regularly use or you have used in the past.
Actually, I'm going to go a bit left of the middle and say
Hmm.
it's more about trying to remind yourself that you are extremely important. I think you can use all the tools in the world, but you can very quickly lose sight through external factors or through challenging conditions of the important role that you play in not just your team as a marketer, but in your company. I think it's, if you take stock from time to time and have a look at the things that you've accomplished, and then also have a think about the things that you would like to accomplish. We have the luxury as marketers having almost the world at our disposal. We can explore whatever we want to explore, provided we get the right opportunity. And you're only going to find that opportunity for yourself if you have the confidence in your own skill set.
Yeah.
So it would be more about learning from others, taking on that kind of mentorship from senior members of your team, trying to immerse yourself in as much as possible. This kind of always on mentality applies to our own job as well, to be able to absorb and critique everything and consider, how would I do it differently? If I were approaching this campaign, where would I like to see it? And then trying to kind of immerse yourself in your own industry as well to gain the best understanding that you can. Because we all have very specific roles. We all have very specific calling. And it's about gaining the strongest understanding and the most powerful knowledge that you can of your own position and what you're trying to achieve within your industry to get the best out of it and the best outcomes. Because it's only that way that you'll get recognised and that you'll develop and you'll grow and you'll get those opportunities to go further afield. You could be marketing the most boring, in your mind, the most boring platform or product or concept. But to somebody somewhere, that is what keeps them going every single day. And it's about remembering that whilst you may not find it interesting, it's in providing an important and vital service to somebody that needs to know about that product for a very good reason. So the sexier jobs will come, but if you're just starting out, it's about gaining as much experience and as strong an understanding of your audience as possible. I'd say that.
And actually, those more boring, those more boring industries, actually, that can be a good challenge to try and find a way to make it sexier or cooler or funnier or quirkier or whatever. I worked in the shipping industry for a short time, and that is quite hard to get excited about. But I did see it as a challenge to try and break the normal type of messaging that shipping companies put out there. So yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you can, if you want to get into the industry, be very open-minded about where you work, what kind of sector you work in, and actually try and find ways to put your stamp on the industry that you're working in. And
because what I would say is actually, and this might be a generalization, but you're probably more likely to get that lucky break if you're working in a niche where you're going to be more recognizable than if you're working as big as part of a bigger, larger consumer organization. I hate him so much.
Definitely going to be using this video on social media.
Great, amazing. It's to, when you're applying for that first role, or when you're looking to move on from an assistant to an exec, or whatever that career progression is to not look down your nose at those opportunities that don't necessarily look as kind of sexy or appealing. Your portfolio will come, and it will come with time. And actually, having worked largely across the business-to-business sector in recent years, some may turn their nose up at that and think, oh, that sounds really dull. I want to work in consumer marketing. I want to market, I don't know, makeup or trainers or whatever it is. And that's fine. But you have to be accepting that you need a broad skill set. And to do that, you may have to work in those roles that may not have that immediate appeal. Because most employers will see past your portfolio. They'll see past the fact that you may not necessarily have big brand names. But if you're immersed and you're passionate about what you do, that will immediately come across.